Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in the small town of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, a place where poverty was common and opportunity was rare. Her arrival into the world was quiet and uncertain. Her mother, Vernita Lee, was a young domestic worker trying to survive on very little, while her father, Vernon Winfrey, was serving in the military and unaware of the child for some time. In those early years, Oprah was raised primarily by her grandmother on a rural farm. Life was difficult. Clothing was often handmade from whatever materials were available, and daily life revolved around chores and survival. Yet even in those humble surroundings, something remarkable began to show. Her grandmother taught her to read at a very young age using the Bible. Words fascinated her. Stories became a doorway to a larger world beyond the limits of her small community. Early lessons in strength childhood for Oprah was filled with challenges that shaped her understanding of resilience. After the first years with her grandmother, she moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother. The transition was difficult. The city was crowded, life was uncertain, and Oprah often felt alone. She struggled to find stability and belonging. Yet school became a place where she could breathe and discover who she might become. Teachers quickly noticed that she spoke clearly and read far beyond her age level. Her natural ability with language gave her confidence that she had never felt before. While other children simply attended class, Oprah found herself drawn to reading aloud, reciting poems, and telling stories. The classroom became a small stage where her voice mattered. Even though life outside school remained complicated, those early academic moments planted a belief that her voice had value and that her future could be different. Discovering the power of words. As Oprah grew older, she began to realize that speaking could transform the way people listened and connected. Her teachers encouraged her to join school activities that involved communication, such as debate competitions and drama clubs. Standing in front of a crowd at first felt terrifying, but it also awakened something powerful inside her. When she spoke, people paid attention. Her words carried emotion and honesty that audiences could feel. One teacher in particular told her that her voice could make a difference in the world if she continued to develop it. Those words stayed with her. Around this time, she entered a public speaking contest sponsored by a local radio station and won. The victory came with a small scholarship and a part-time opportunity to work at the station. For a teenager who once doubted her place in the world, hearing her own voice broadcast on the radio felt like stepping into a new identity. A door into broadcasting. By the time she was 17, Oprah was already reading news on local radio in Nashville. It was an unusual achievement for someone so young, especially in the early 1970s, when opportunities for young Black women in broadcasting were extremely limited. Still, she approached the job with determination and humility. She enrolled at Tennessee State University to study speech and drama while continuing her work in broadcasting. Her days were long and demanding, balancing college studies with professional responsibilities. But the effort paid off. At just 19 years old, she was offered a position as a television news anchor at a Nashville station. The moment was historic. She became the youngest and one of the first Black women to anchor news in the city. While the job brought excitement, it also came with intense pressure. Television demanded a polished style that sometimes felt unnatural to her emotional and expressive personality. Learning through setbacks. Although Oprah had talent, her early television career was not smooth. When she moved to Baltimore for a larger opportunity, she quickly discovered that the traditional news format did not suit her style. Producers felt she was too emotionally involved in the stories she reported. Instead of delivering the news with distance, she responded with empathy. Eventually, she was moved away from the anchor desk and reassigned to a daytime talk program called People Are Talking. At first, the change felt like a step backward. However, it turned out to be the turning point that would define her career. In the talk show environment, She could connect with guests, listen deeply, and speak naturally rather than reading scripted lines. Viewers responded immediately. They sensed authenticity in her conversations. The very quality that had been criticized in the news world, her emotional openness, became her greatest strength. A new beginning in Chicago. In 1984, Oprah received an offer that would transform her future. A struggling morning talk program in Chicago called AM Chicago needed a new host. The show was losing viewers, and few people believed it could recover. Oprah accepted the challenge and arrived with little expectation except to do her best. Within weeks, the show's ratings began to climb. Audiences were drawn to her warmth, curiosity, and willingness to engage honestly with guests. She laughed with people, shared their stories, and sometimes revealed pieces of her own journey. Chicago viewers quickly embraced her style. Within months, the show surpassed competing programs in popularity. The success was so dramatic that the program was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show. It soon expanded beyond Chicago and became a nationally syndicated talk show, launching Oprah into a new level of influence and recognition. Becoming a cultural voice. When The Oprah Winfrey Show debuted nationwide in 1986, it quickly became one of the most influential programs in television history. Unlike traditional talk shows that focused mainly on entertainment, Oprah's program explored personal growth, relationships, and social issues. She invited authors, teachers, and everyday people to share experiences that viewers could relate to. Over time, the show developed a remarkable cultural impact. When Oprah recommended a book, it often became a bestseller overnight, a phenomenon known as the Oprah effect. Politicians, celebrities, and world leaders all recognized the reach of her platform. Yet despite the fame, Oprah often spoke about the responsibility that came with such influence. She understood that millions of people were listening to her words every day, and she tried to use that attention to encourage learning, empathy, and conversation. Building an empire, Oprah did not limit herself to hosting a talk show. She wanted to control her creative work and ensure that her voice remained authentic. To do this, she founded her own production company, Harpo Productions. The company allowed her to produce her own television programs and films, giving her independence that few hosts had ever achieved. Over time, her business ventures expanded into magazines, film projects, and educational initiatives. By 2003, she made history as the first Black female billionaire in the world. Financial success brought new opportunities to invest in charitable work and educational programs. Oprah often emphasized that her greatest goal was not simply wealth, but impact. She wanted to create platforms where stories could be told and where people could find inspiration to improve their lives. Giving back to the world. As her influence grew, Oprah dedicated increasing energy to philanthropy. She funded scholarships, supported community programs, and launched educational initiatives around the world. One of her most meaningful projects was the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. The school was designed to provide high-quality education to girls from disadvantaged backgrounds who might otherwise have limited opportunities. Oprah frequently visited the academy and spoke about the importance of education as a pathway to empowerment. She saw the students not simply as beneficiaries, but as future leaders. Through charitable work, she hoped to offer young people the encouragement and support she wished every child could receive. For Oprah, success was never only about personal achievement. It was about creating opportunities for others to discover their own potential. The meaning of legacy today, Oprah Winfrey is recognized not only as a television host, but also as one of the most influential voices in modern media. Her journey from rural Mississippi to global prominence is often described as extraordinary, yet she frequently reminds audiences that her story is ultimately about perseverance. Over decades, she reshaped television, introduced new conversations to mainstream culture, and inspired millions of viewers to reflect on their own lives. Despite immense success, she continues to emphasize gratitude, reflection, and personal growth. Her legacy is measured not only in ratings or financial achievements, but also in the countless individuals who found encouragement through her words. Oprah's life demonstrates that a single voice, when used with honesty and purpose, can reach across barriers of background, culture, and circumstance to create lasting change.